Have you ever wondered if the glow from your phone screen is actually the slow, flickering light of a funeral pyre for your intimacy? We live in an era where the most devastating betrayals don't leave physical evidence on the sheets, but rather digital fingerprints on a glass screen. You know that feeling, the cold, sharp knot in the pit of your stomach when you see them tilt their phone away just a fraction of an inch too fast. It's a physical ache, a visceral alarm system that your body triggers long before your mind is willing to admit the truth. We've been told that unless there is a physical touch, it isn't real, but your nervous system knows better. It feels the withdrawal of presence, the thinning of the energetic cord that once bound you together, and it reacts with the same primal panic as if you were being abandoned in the wilderness. This is the quiet erosion of the soul, a microdosing of infidelity that social media doesn't just facilitate, it engineers. Your brain is a masterpiece of connection, yet it is currently being hijacked by algorithms designed to exploit your most basic human needs. When we talk about emotional affairs in the digital age, we aren't just talking about bad choices, we are talking about a neurological capture. You see, the human brain is wired for the Zeigarnik effect, a psychological phenomenon where we remember interrupted or incomplete tasks much more vividly than completed ones. Social media is an endless stream of incomplete tasks, the like that isn't followed by a comment, the seen notification without a reply, the cryptic story post meant for an audience of one. These digital breadcrumbs create a state of high arousal tension. For the person drifting away from you, that other person isn't a human being with flaws and morning breath. They are a projection of unfulfilled potential, a dopamine loop that never has to face the reality of a shared mortgage or a sick child. They are a ghost in the machine, and your partner is addicted to the haunting. This isn't a defect in your character or a sign that you aren't enough. It is your nervous system recognizing that the sanctuary of your relationship has been breached by 1,000 tiny, invisible needles. The first sign that the digital world is feeding an emotional displacement is the transition from sharing to broadcasting. In a healthy union, the best parts of the day are saved for the person sitting across from you. But when social media begins to feast on the relationship, the partner starts performing their life for an invisible audience rather than living it with you. If you find that your partner's first instinct after a beautiful sunset or a personal achievement is to capture it for the gram rather than to squeeze your hand, the erosion has begun. This is the externalization of intimacy. They are seeking validation from a curated crowd because the deep, quiet, and often difficult work of being truly seen by one person has become too heavy. The screen becomes a shield, a way to receive the hit of being admired without the vulnerability of being known. You are standing right there, but you have become a background character in the movie of their life, while a stranger behind a screen is being given the front row seat to their inner world. Then comes the digital shadowing, that subtle shift in behavior, where the phone becomes an extension of their physical body. It's no longer left on the kitchen counter. It travels to the bathroom. It stays face down during dinner. It is guarded with a ferocity usually reserved for a state secret. This isn't just about privacy. It's about the creation of a private vault. Attachment theory tells us that secure relationships are built on the circle of security, a safe base from which we explore the world, and to which we return for comfort. But when a partner creates a digital vault, they are building a secondary base. The anxiety you feel when they pull away isn't paranoia or insecurity, it is your anxious attachment system firing because the secure base has been compromised. Your body is screaming that the person who is supposed to be your co-regulator is now regulating their emotions through the feedback of others. They are outsourcing their emotional needs to a platform that thrives on novelty, leaving you with the crumbs of their presence. Consider the echo of the ex, a phenomenon social media has weaponized. In the past, when a relationship ended, the power of absence allowed the brain to eventually prune those neural pathways through a process called long-term depression of synapses. You moved on because the person was gone. Now, nobody is ever truly gone. They are a ghost in the people you may know sidebar. They are a story view. They are a like on an old photo. This digital haunting keeps the attachment system in a state of permanent low-level activation. If your partner is constantly checking in on the lives of past flames or orbiting people they once had feelings for, they are preventing the natural death of those old connections. They are keeping those neural fires burning, which means there is less energy, less fire, available for the hearth of your current home. It is a slow leak of devotion, a refusal to fully commit to the present, because the past is just one click away. The fourth sign is the comparative despair that social media induces. We are all prone to the highlight reel fallacy, but in the context of a relationship, it becomes lethal. When your partner spends hours scrolling through the curated perfection of others, they are subconsciously comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's main stage. They see the filtered vacation photos and the staged declarations of love, and they begin to view your real, messy, beautiful life as less than. This is the grass is greener syndrome, amplified by $1 billion industry. The algorithm knows exactly what your partner is lacking, or thinks they are lacking, and feeds them images of it. If they are feeling bored, it feeds them adventure. If they are feeling unappreciated, it feeds them flirtation. It is a predatory feedback loop that tells them their unhappiness isn't internal, but a result of being with you. They begin to withdraw, not because you have changed, but because their perception of reality has been distorted by a digital funhouse mirror. As this progresses, you will notice the language of distance. The way they speak to you changes. The intimacy of inside jokes and shared shorthand is replaced by a formal, almost clinical communication. Or worse, the communication becomes purely functional, logistics about groceries, bills, and schedules. Meanwhile, their digital interactions are vibrant, punctuated with emojis, exclamation points, and a level of enthusiasm they no longer show you. This is the split self at work. They are giving their best self, the witty, charming, engaged version, to the digital void, while you receive the exhausted self.
You are the one who deals with their stress, their bad moods, and their silence, while the person on the other side of the screen gets the avatar of the person you fell in love with. It is a profound form of emotional theft. They are spending their social capital elsewhere, leaving the relationship bank account overdrawn.
The sixth sign is the micro-validation trap. We all need to feel seen, but social media creates a variable ratio reinforcement schedule, the same mechanism that makes slot machines so addictive. When your partner posts something and waits for the likes to roll in, they are seeking a hit of dopamine that you, as a steady and consistent presence, cannot provide in the same way. The tragedy is that the like from a stranger or a distant acquaintance begins to hold more weight than your steady, daily love. Why? Because it's new, it's novelty. Neuroplasticity shows us that our brains crave the new, but a long-term relationship is built on the sacred familiar. When a partner prioritizes the hit of digital validation over the warmth of your presence, they are choosing a chemical spike over a soul-deep connection. You might notice them checking their notifications during a movie you're watching together, or even in the quiet moments of conversation. They are looking for a pulse from the world because they've stopped feeling the heartbeat of the person right next to them. This leads into the gaslighting of intuition. When you finally find the courage to speak up, to say, "I feel like you're not here with me," or "Why are you always talking to that person?" They respond with, "It's just the internet," "You're being crazy," or "We're just friends." This is the invalidation cycle. They are using the ambiguity of the digital space to make you doubt your own reality. Because there is no physical evidence, they claim there is no betrayal. But betrayal is not defined by what happens in a bed. It is defined by what is kept from the partner. If they are sharing thoughts, dreams, or frustrations with someone else that they aren't sharing with you, that is an emotional breach. By telling you that your feelings are wrong, they are attacking your self-trust. This is the most damaging part of the process because it makes you feel like you are the problem, when in fact, you are the only one trying to protect the sanctity of the bond. The 8th sign is the secret world construction. You start to notice that there are entire sections of their life you are no longer a part of. They have new interests, new slang, or new opinions that seem to have appeared out of nowhere. These are the contaminants from their digital interactions. When we are emotionally intimate with someone, our self-expansion happens together. We grow as a unit. But when a partner is having an emotional affair online, they are expanding with someone else. They are building a third space that you aren't invited into. You feel like a stranger in your own relationship because the person you love is being reshaped by an influence you cannot see. This is the sovereignty of the secret, where they find power in having something that is theirs and not ours. In a healthy relationship, autonomy is vital, but secrecy is toxic. Autonomy says, I am my own person. Secrecy says, I am hiding who I am becoming from you. Then there is the passive-aggressive post. This is the use of social media to communicate things they are too afraid or too disconnected to say to your face. They might share a quote about being unappreciated, a song about moving on, or a meme about toxic partners. This is triangulation, bringing in the digital audience to take their side in a conflict you didn't even know you were having. Instead of coming to you with their pain, they broadcast it to the world, seeking the sympathy of strangers to validate their narrative of the relationship. It is a way of shaming you without ever having to engage in a direct conversation. It creates a cloud of hostility that follows you around, making you feel perpetually on trial in the eyes of their digital circle. The final and perhaps most heartbreaking sign is the loss of the gaze. There is a specific way people look at each other when they are the center of each other's universe. It's a soft, lingering gaze that says, I see you and I am here. In the age of social media, the gaze is fractured. It is constantly being pulled away by the ping of a notification. If you look at your partner and find that they are looking through you or past you toward their device, the deep connection has been severed. They are no longer attuned to your emotional state. They miss the subtle quiver of your lip or the shadow of sadness in your eyes because their attention is being colonized by a screen. This fractured attention is a form of emotional neglect that feels like 1,000 tiny cuts. It tells you that whatever is happening in the digital everywhere is more important than what is happening in the here and now with you. But here is where the story changes. This is where you stop being the victim of an algorithm and start becoming the sovereign of your own life. This pain you are feeling, it is not a sign of your weakness. It is the refining fire of your own soul. Your nervous system is sounding the alarm because you are worth protecting. It is time to stop looking at their screen and start looking at your inner garden. Imagine your energy as a literal garden. For months or perhaps years, you have been letting the weeds of their neglect and the pests of their digital distractions overgrow your paths. You have been pouring all your water into a relationship that has a hole in the bottom. You have been trying to fix a connection that the other person is actively sabotaging. The power of absence isn't just about leaving a room. It's about reclaiming your emotional real estate. It's about taking your attention back from the person who isn't honoring it and giving it back to yourself.
When you withdraw your energy, not out of spite, but out of self-sanctity, something miraculous happens. You stop being the anxious pursuer, and you become the grounded center. You realize that you cannot control their dopamine addiction, but you can control your dignity. You begin to prune the dead branches of this relationship. You stop checking their following list. You stop wondering who they are liking. You stop being a detective and start being an architect. You start building a life that is so vibrant, so rich, and so deeply rooted in your own sovereignty that their digital games feel small and insignificant by comparison.
You are moving from a state of survival to a state of thriving, and this transition is fueled by the realization that your value is not a variable that changes based on someone else's attention. Your value is a constant. Science tells us that neuroplasticity works both ways. Just as their brain has been wired for the cheap hit of social media, your brain can be rewired for deep peace. By setting boundaries, not as rules for them, but as standards for yourself, you begin to heal your nervous system. You are teaching your body that it is safe, that you are its protector, and that you will no longer allow it to be subjected to the stress hormones of digital betrayal. You are entering the manifesto stage of your healing. You are standing in the wreckage of what you thought was your life and realizing that you are the master mason. You are the one who decides what gets built next. You are the one who holds the light. I am the one who no longer begs for a seat at a table where I am not fed. I am the one who trusts my intuition more than I trust someone else's excuses. I am the one who recognizes that my presence is a gift, and I will no longer cast it before those who prefer the shadows of a screen. I am the architect of my own peace. I am the guardian of my own heart. I am the sovereign of my own energy. I am not a background character in someone else's digital drama. I am the protagonist of my own epic journey. I am whole, even when I am being observed by no one. I am valuable, even when I am not being liked. I am the inner garden, lush and protected, and only those who are willing to leave their devices at the gate are worthy of entering. I am healing. I am rising. I am free. I am the silence that is louder than 1,000 notifications. I am the depth that the shallow waters of the internet can never understand. I am the real, the raw, and the true. I am reclaiming every fragment of my attention that I gave away to a ghost. I am pouring that love back into my own veins, back into my own dreams, and back into my own soul. I am no longer afraid of the silence, for in the silence, I can finally hear my own voice again. And my voice is saying, I am enough. I have always been enough. And I am finally coming home to myself.